What's the worst flavor of ice cream you've ever had? Cicada ice cream. Living in the middle of the US, we tend to get a lot of cicadas every 7 years or so. A small shop in town decided they would bag the cicadas, dry them out and add them as a crunchy element to some ice cream. Local health department must have thought it tasted like shit too because they shut them down in a fast hurry. I had a fish-flavored ice cream once in Japan. A PNW special. Lemon geoduck ice cream. We were road tripping on the coast. Stopped in a tiny ice cream parlor. And decided we had to try it. Because when the heck else are you going to try geoduck ice cream? Yes. Geoduck is tilde that one clam tilde. It tasted like lemon ice cream with chunks of rubber band in it and a hint of something deeply unsettling. Not recommended. My grocery store has a brand of ice cream that's meant to be a cheap alternative to Ben & Jerry's style ice cream. This flavor was lemon cheesecake. And it tasted okay. But after one spoonful, it felt like it left a residue of wax in my mouth. I tried another spoonful and afterwards I could scrape my spoon across the roof of my mouth and it came away with a waxy white substance. It was so horrible. I tried to call to report it, but this whole pandemic thing happened. Blue cheese and chocolate. We were on a tour of our local ice cream factory with school and we had an ice cream tasting. Some were great. Some were blue cheese. I like vanilla. But the worst ice cream I ever had was a vanilla soft ice at the beach kiosk at Kerteminde Strand in Denmark in July. 97. It was 20 crowns for a small one and I can tell you I had one taste and threw it in the trash. Crappy ice cream and even crappier price. Jalapeno pineapple. In retrospect still sounds pretty good, but when I tried it in person it was like syrup and hot sauce. I still think that with proper execution it would have worked. Bacon. I love bacon. But the fake bacon flavor makes me nauseous. Beer ice cream. It was terrible. Pine tree. Not the worst taste but weirdest. It tasted exactly like a pine tree smells like. Brussels sprout or spinach. Both are equally terrible. Lobster. They sell it as a novelty in Bar Harbor, Maine. It truly is horrific. I had some really cheap peach-flavored ice cream one time. It was awful. It was all grainy and ice crystal Y and clearly flavored with fake ester chemicals. Rather than any kind of real fruit. It was like artificially sweetened milk with sidewalk chalk dumped into it. That's the impression it gave. Also, I kinda mislike fruit-based ice cream flavors other than strawberry. To begin with. So it started in the basement of the ice cream world and dug a hole downward from there. It wasn't ice cream but I thought it was. We were on a food tour in Asheville, NC. At the last stop they have out a little dessert plate that had what looked like vanilla ice cream with chocolate syrup. Imagine my surprise when I took an entire spoon of goat's cheese and balsamic vinegar. Another time I tried red velvet gelato. About had a heart attack when my next poop came out bright red until I remembered that gelato. A mint ice cream. Usually tastes pretty damn good. But this one had pieces of different flavors of Hall's mint. I've have two that come to mind. The first was a lemon sorbet that tasted like it was made with the pith not the juice. The second was Vegemite gelato. As an Aussie, I love Vegemite but there's a fucking line that shouldn't be crossed. My mom's favorite is chocolate with peanut butter swirl. Only, I hated it. Because it was a cheap brand. So the peanut butter was subpar and froze into the consistency of plastic. She used to get it all the time. And I never touched it despite loving ice cream. Durian ice cream. I definitely played myself with that one. It tasted like garlic and mango together with a hint of vanilla. Great Value brand toffee flavor. It tasted like the wooden spoon from those ice cream cups from when I was a kid. Tea-berry. I'm just really not a fan. Chicken in. Waffle was okay until you tasted the protein Y chicken piece in it. Jarring and unpleasant. I used to regularly go to a sort of nerd camping event each summer where we would make ice cream from liquid nitrogen out in the woods. Great fun. Each year people would pre-mix ice cream ready to be frozen. And the challenge was to come up with something interesting or different. I've had ice cream in these flavors. 1. Oyster. 2. Limburger cheese. 3. Shrimp. 4. Celery. Unquestionably the Limburger cheese was the most vile. But I guess I can say I've had it. Chocolate. The ones that taste like cheap chocolate are bad. Lavender. Tasted like soap. Horseradish. Thanks guys, I just door-dashed ice cream. Beet fucking root. It was a sorbet. IDK if this would count. Was supposed to be. Orange. Flavored but actually tasted like boiled baby carrots. Turned me off from carrots and orange sorbet ever since. If I have to have a cooked carrot, in rice, I will just swallow it instead of chewing it. Place called the Stinking Rose in San Francisco. Home of the world's largest garlic braid. Everything on the menu has garlic in it. Ice cream was, as expected, terrible. Everything else was amazing though. 2 thumbs up. 10 stars. Love the place. Would go again. Halo Top chocolate is some hot garbage. Froofy ass low calorie bullshit. It's like you're shaving vaguely chocolate flavored ice chips off of an ice block. I don't think I've ever been angrier at an ice cream. I hate this idea of, oh, it's like ice cream but better for you. No, if you're going to have a treat, don't half-ass it. Don't live your life telling yourself that this pretender to the throne is just as good when it was clearly shit into the Halo Top container by Satan himself. Go get yourself some fat-filled high-sugar deliciousness. Just don't do it that often. I think it was mung bean. Durian was absolutely the most foul ice cream I've ever had. Pralines and dick. My daughter has loved Superman at our local shop since she was maybe 4. It isn't really a flavor except sweet and gross. I can't imagine how anyone could eat it. But she loves it. Bacon. I had ice cream from Mandarin, the buffet chain, that was labeled as blue bubblegum, but tasted exactly like mint toothpaste. It was bad enough to begin with, but being caught so off guard made it 10x worse. Generic grocery store vanilla is always a buzzkill. My dad once went to an ice cream place and saw they had a wasabi flavor. He asked how it was and the employee replies, "It's awful. Do you want to try it?" Apparently it was, in fact, awful. Ever tried purple-colored ice cream thinking it was grape or some shit only to find out it's sweet potato? That's me. Tiger penis. I hate anything from Halo Top. I'm gonna let a few of you down by writing this. But Rocky Road. Nothing about it is what I enjoy in ice cream. I can't eat cherry or cherry vanilla ice cream, especially if there are cherry pieces inside, because one time when I was a kid I ate way too much of that stuff and later woke up in the middle of the night and threw up all over myself. The bed sheets, covers, pillow and everything. A total fucking shit show. Still remember to this day my puke smelling like cherry ice cream. Last summer I accidentally bought a cup of cherry ice cream and after trying it I had to spit it out and throw it all away. Filipinos have cheese ice cream. Like they put shredded cheddar in their ice cream. I'm not going to say it's the worst I've ever had, but it did take me time to get used to it. There's also corn and cheese ice cream. They're quite creative. Cornbread. It tasted like cornbread. Garlic or camembert. French cheese. Smurf. Not ice cream but basically. Me and my friends went to this frozen yogurt place in town and there was a coffee flavor, so all my friend tried it. So me being the idiot I am accidentally hot the middle one, which combined the coffee and cake batter. I almost threw up. Had cigarette flavored ice cream once from an ice cream shop in Thailand. We saw it amongst the usual chocolate, strawberry etc. and thought, how can we not try that? It tasted like an ashtray smells. Even with just a single cone between 2 people, most of it went in the bin. When I was in Japan I tried squid and garlic ice cream. I knew it was gonna taste like shit. Paid too much money for it. But I had to try it. Walmart had a coffee and donuts ice cream that we bought for one of our kids' birthdays. It had cold, hard, stale tasting pieces of cake donut in it. Like big pieces. And gritty sugar that crunched in your teeth. Shame. It sounded wonderful. Rum raisin is a war crime. Rum and raisin. It's a mindfuck because the taste of the rum ice cream is amazing, but it's utterly ruined by the weird frozen texture of the raisins. Every time I see it I have to make a decision between passing up delicious rum ice cream because of the shitty raisins or getting it and having the experience be ruined by the same shitty raisins. Mint. Or tiger tail, but a lot of people probably never heard of it. Pickle Rick. It tasted terrible, yet it was still the funniest shit I've ever seen. My Filipino coworker brought in maize con queso ice cream, corn and cheese. I love Filipino food. I do not love corn and cheese ice cream. I think it would have been better without the cheese. That's what really killed it. Exit wound flavor from Sunny Skies ice cream in Angier, NC. It has pecan peppers, tail chilies, and habaneros. You are required to sign a release of liability waiver before you purchase. If you choose to try it, May God have mercy on your soul. This isn't plain ice cream. But I worked at Sonic the summer that they had the pickle-flavored slushies. All I did was put the syrup in, so I don't know how much of it was real pickle juice, but it sure did smell like it. I worked the drive-through window and I would sometimes spill a tiny few drops on the counter. That was enough for the rest of the shift to smell like pickles no matter how hard you wiped it down. Halo brand. I don't even remember the flavor, but it was so awful I threw the thing out. And now I glare at that brand every time I see it, so it now shows much I hate it. Worked at Cold Stone in high school. One summer we made a strawberry basil sorbet. I know you asked for ice cream. It's close enough. It tasted like cold icy pizza sauce. Some people weirdly loved it though. Bacon. I love bacon. I love ice cream, but the world is not ready for that abomination. Bubblegum. Pine needle ice cream tastes like sweet Lysol. Salt water ice cream. Absolutely the worst. This is coming from someone who loves salty everything, lol. Strawberry. Don't get me wrong. I love strawberries. But artificial strawberry flavoring is disgusting.